Look, there. All right, men, load your weapons. It's them. Blast them.
Where is the cameraman?
Welcome back to the second episode of Blore on Mandalore. I am your host, Jeremy Blore. I just want to start off by saying thank you. Like a massive, massive thank you to everyone that tuned into the previous episode, that liked my reels, that commented on everything. Like blew me away. I checked it literally probably an hour ago, and I had 84 views on my previous one. It had like 10 comments, and yeah, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. It's just surreal to me to know that people actually want to tune in, because I kind of got a little bit worried. I thought, oh well, it's going to be my friends, and it's just going to be like a couple of minutes per thing. But I saw the watch hours on that, and that was like a 5-hour watch time. So that's my girlfriend, my mum, my brother, Isaiah, and there has to be one more person. So that's pretty special, and I just want to say thank you. And quickly, before I even say anything off that, I just want to say a huge thank you to the guys at Beyond the Dune Sea. So when I started this podcast, I actually talked to them ages ago. Probably a good 4 or 5 months ago, being like, look, you guys have really inspired me. They were the ones that kind of gave me the passion to be like, oh yeah, I really want to actually create something. I want to put something out there that is similar to this, because I've seen so much work from so many different people, and the way they kind of compose themselves on stream. And this is other people, by the way. The way they compose themselves on stream, or if they're just like the way they kind of figure out their show. I like it. It's good, but it's very YouTube-y. Obviously in a good way, like YouTube is a very successful platform, but it's just, I've never met someone like the guys at Beyond the Dune Sea that do it the way that they do it. And they are the biggest inspiration for this podcast / show, whatever you really want to call it. I messaged actually Connor. And I was just like, hey, look, I'm really nervous. I don't know what to do here. I don't know how to record. I don't know how to edit. I don't know. I literally don't know. I thought you had to plug in a camera, turn it on, talk to it for a bit, and then just be like, all right, chuck it online. But it is the most in-depth process. It took me months to even get to the point where I could film my first video. Happily. I did a couple of variations of it, and I didn't really enjoy it. And the whole time, I'd talk to him, I'd conversate with him, I'd bring up this different stuff, and he would always respond. Now, I'm in Australia. I'm thousands and thousands of kilometers away from anywhere in America. Anywhere. These guys just thought, oh, I'm gonna spend my time and I'm gonna help out this random dude down under. And like going through a very tough time mentally, that was the biggest thing that really anyone random has ever done for me. I've got such an incredible support team, but just the fact that these people were able to do so much for me, I just wanted to quickly take that time to thank them, because I didn't do it on my previous episode because I got so excited, I got so nervous, and I lost my track of thought. So very much so, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And Seth, you're not alone in this. Your joy and your wisdom and just your incredible character. You've helped shape everything to do with this podcast. So thank you both. Thank you both. Episode 4 dropped Wednesday. Currently it's Friday, but Wednesday night, Bad Batch episode 4. Phenomenal episode. Now, I know I said last one that I wasn't going to bring out the notes. However, you know what? I'm learning and I'm doing it. I'm bringing out the notes. I wanted to add a little bit more structure. I rewatched the podcast how many times, the show, how many times, and I saw myself just go all over the shop. So we're adding structure and we're doing it now. We are going to start off with an episode rating of episode 4. Okay? From here on out, we're going to do it like this. And if you want to add something to it, let me know. I want to add as many segments as I possibly can because, trust me, I can talk forever. Episode rating, 9.5 out of 10. That was by far one of the best episodes that Bad Batch has ever released. Not only because of recency bias, which is a thing. I will most likely, by the way, I'm going to revise all of this at the end of the season because I am a sucker for what you call recency bias. Basically, recency bias is depending on how recent it was that it released or that you watched it, you kind of think it's better than what it is, or maybe even worse than what it is when it comes to the sequels. So I'm going to change that rating most likely later. Maybe you guys can change my mind in the comment section, but 9.5 out of 10. I thought it was phenomenal. Everything that went on, it was a jam-packed episode. It was boom, 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 boom. Content the whole way through. Really interesting themes as well. Character development through the wazoo. Now on to the next kind of bit of it. Now, I've taken this from Beyond the Dune Sea. I've taken this from Beyond the Dune Sea, but they have got a ranking system that I've got a whiteboard. I've got a whiteboard over there, and I'm going to put it up on the whiteboard towards the end of the season. That's when we're going to do a tier list of everything. However, the current tiers are as follows. S tier for super duper. That is fucking sick. Then we've got A tier. A tier is still amazing, but it's not like blow your socks off. S tier. Then it goes B tier, C tier, and then kind of D and just like bleh. Really, it doesn't go lower than D tier. D tier is like, what was that? What the fuck was that? That was ridiculous. Also, yeah, I'm going to start swearing a little more. D tier is basically, that was the worst thing that I have ever seen, and I don't know what you could actually do to make it worse than that. I know me, and I don't think I'm ever going to put something in D tier. That's just like, that's going to be probably the empty category. There are a few things that I could put in C tier. Yeah, just like some episodes that people deem as fillers. I don't think fillers exist. Fillers don't exist. I think that it is necessary character development. Yeah, sometimes it can be a stupid arc. You can have a stupid method of doing something like, Hunter, we have to go get some milk because Bedger's hungry. And it's like a whole episode of them like struggling to get milk. I don't like it, but it's not filler because it actually within that, you see a lot of character development. You kind of see how the characters react to things, and it builds emphasis towards later because you go, oh no, I know what Omega's gonna do. I know that she cares about, like, yeah, okay, reaching. But it's like, I know she cares about that lurker so much that she wants to feed it. She wants to make sure that's a priority. And it's cool. It's cool, but we're removing the word filler. Filler is not a thing here. So I actually rank this episode, obviously, 9.5 out of 10. What's that going to be? That actually still could be A tier. I'm going to preface that. A is like top of the line, holy bajoli. That is such a good episode. There's not much you could do. And S tier is that wow factor. I'm going to put this in S tier. I'm putting this in S tier because you get to see so much of previous characters changing with themes of proper Star Wars. To highlight some of them, when towards the end of the episode, pretty much at the end, Omega and Crosshair are coming down on the ship and they're meeting Hunter and Wrecker on the Marauder. As they're flying down, you see a backwards shot where all their thrusters and so on slowly disengaging and they're slowing their movement down to go in. But then it cuts to the Marauder's perspective. And at the Marauder's perspective, what do you see in the background? 2 huge planets, a big one and a slightly smaller one, resembling the twin stars. Now, the twin stars, A New Hope, that's when you see Luke stand up on the mound at the Lars farm and he just goes, Lars homestead. And he stands up on the mound and he's just going, doo, 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 doo. And it's like the whole theme song and everything. It's like a beautiful Star Wars moment, him basically going, there is a world out there that I'm going to visit and I'm going to take on, and this is just the beginning. And I love that Luke and Omega kind of have the same thing. They have a passion for life. A passion for doing the right thing. I'll comment on the rest of that scene later because I love that last little bit. Spoiler alert, I cried. I was sobbing at the end. I thought it was beautiful. But before I say, let's dive into the episode. All right, get rid of this. Rah, rah, rah. Okay. Note time. Go back to those notes. Episode 4, A Different Approach. Why do we call it a different approach? Now, as I said on the previous one, and I'm going to stop explaining it after this, but I like to go into what the meaning of the title actually is. A different approach. Well, the whole time during this episode, you see Omega changing the way Crosshair is thinking and changing the way they do things in the episode. For example, Crosshair, obviously, he's a clone. He's a soldier, a warrior. He has been built from conception to be a warrior. Now, that's all he can think in his head. But Omega wasn't brought up that way. Omega was brought up with compassion. She was brought up with scientists around to understand life, to be passionate about life. And she doesn't want to see any lives, be that good or bad, destroyed. So she takes a different approach. What? Omega finds ways to not hurt anyone, and you see that kind of comparison with Crosshair all throughout, but he begrudgingly accepts and he doesn't leave her behind, even though he has the option to tens of thousands. He has every chance to just go, yeah, screw this kid. Why would I want to deal with this kid? when I could literally get off this planet? It is crawling with stormtroopers. Anyways. So we open up the episode to the ship falling apart. As they jumped out of hyperspace, obviously the ship was so torn up, it was so wrecked from the fire of the ships following them, that the hyperspace tore it to shreds. Every panel was beeping, everything was going off. Even the lurker was trying to help out with this one. Badger. I'm going to start calling him Badger. Even Badger was coming in and helping out, dropping tools and all that kind of stuff. And Omega's freaking out, Crosshair's freaking out, and he goes out of hyperspace. They see an isolated planet, the closest one possible. Now, you realize when it comes to most of the planets, they are going to have an imperial reign on them. That's the point of the Empire, is to have, even though maybe the stormtroopers aren't the best, then they're not the best warriors, then they're not the best shooters. The Empire will always make sure they have companies everywhere you go, because their reign is through sheer might and numbers. Basically, it starts off the episode going, look, these two aren't working well together. Crosshair and Omega are not compatible when it comes to work. They both have very different ways of doing things, but they're gonna have to figure out a way to work. They get down to the planet. The ship crashes. It's gone. It's just as damaged and just as screwed up as the ship that they were initially planning to go on episode 3, the one that they couldn't even jump or start anything. It would take way too much time to actually repair the ship. It's better to go onto the planet and find a shuttle out of here. So that's their goal. As they're going up and they get into the town, Omega brings up a pretty strong point where they go, I need to talk to Hunter. And then Crosshair goes, well, I'm not going back. I'm getting out of here. And Omega actually, it's really cool because Omega just goes, the prisoners, we've left them behind. Now, a lot of people they've been stretching out and they've been saying, oh, well, Omega's a Jedi. I don't think Omega's a Jedi. I think the high midichlorian count just enables her to care so much about everything, like life, people, relationships. And she actually built a relationship with most of those prisoners on there. She is a happy-go-lucky girl who will just make friends anywhere that she can, and everywhere, really. Like, there is no doubt in my mind that she is slightly Force sensitive. Now, you can say everyone's Force sensitive. You see in Ahsoka, when Sabine uses the Force to push Ezra. Now, she's not very powerful, but everybody has the opportunity to be Force sensitive. Even if you're a clone, she still has the DNA of Jango Fett. But it kind of hints towards something of the clone rebellion, at least I think. Are we going to see them go back, take on this whole base at Mount Tantus, and then just whoosh, jettison out of there, we live a happy life, right? I don't think they're going to live a happy life. Personally, I think they're going to go in there, they're going to try to free the clones because they're like, you know what? We have got nothing to do with this life. We have got nothing in here that other than bounty hunting. And we've already seen in season 2, that's not for the batch. They tried to settle down, they couldn't do it. So what could they do to actually make an impact and to make their lives feel like it's worthwhile? Well, they could free their brothers and sister in Mount Tantus, creating the Great Clone Rebellion. Could be a thing. We don't know. We'll see. But I do like the way Omega kind of thinks of other people. Crosshair, he's like, no, we are not going back there. But Omega still has it deep in her heart saying, yep, I need to help those people because they are not just prisoners, they are my brothers and sister. Even I truly do think even the stormtroopers that are willing to defect to the clone side, I do truly think that Omega will actually help them as well. I'm loving the way they're doing her character now. She is actually becoming more of a Jedi than a clone at this point. And the more I talk about it, the more I kind of think, oh, what if she randomly goes, whoop? She goes, Hunter, and then pulls his helmet, and she's like, oh, what the hell is this power? It's like Captain America in Avengers when he pulls the hammer and he's like, Toom. Well, Omega could somehow, in the most dark time, in the hardest point for her, use the Force. Now, actually, on that note, I've been rewatching a lot of Avatar as well. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, not the new live action version, but the old cartoon, because I wanted to prepare myself to see the differences in the new live action. And actually, I do see a lot of resemblance. Now, Dave Filoni did direct Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I do see a lot of the same kind of themes when it comes to the Avatar state and being a Jedi. Now, in your hardest point, it's kind of like a defense mechanism saying, Sabine's able to push Ezra into the ship because she desperately needed it. That was her one biggest thing. She needed to get him off and needed to get him safe. It's like Aang. When he's on a tough mission and he's about to die, or he's struggling and he's like, I don't know what to do here. I'm freaking out. Everything's kind of overwhelming. Shut eyes. Arrow. And then just turns into one of the previous Avatar's strengths. Now, I don't think that Jedi can have the ability to use other Jedi's strengths like that. I just think that in the darkest time, the Force will prevail in those who are talented enough to be able to use it, because the Force is a talent. Is Omega able to use the Force when she's in that time? I don't know. But all I can say is I'm really liking the way they're doing her character and the way that she's turning into that Jedi. Even without the powers and the laser swords, I like the way they're kind of moving her forward. All right. Then we cut to Mount Tantus in the prison cell. We see Nala Se and Hemlock. Now, Hemlock cornered her and he's pressuring her, being like, hey, every time you've done the blood samples of every single person in this base, that's her job. Okay, she does all of the blood samples of every single clone to test the suitability for Palpatine's midichlorian transfer, because Palpatine wants to make a clone of himself. Now, as we know, Nala Se has been destroying the blood samples of Omega the whole time. Every single point where she's had to take it secretly, away. Because she knew the inevitable was going to happen. The moment they find out that Omega is able to be, her DNA is able to be transferred, midichlorian-wise, she's going to be tortured. She will most likely be kept alive, hanging on a string, just taking blood out of her until the point that they have the clone, and then they'll get rid of her. So Nala Se is literally protecting who she considers to be her daughter. Now, Omega and Nala Se were the best friends. They were like mother and daughter the whole way through Camino. Growing up, they stayed together. She studied with her. They were focusing on everything together. And I really like the way they've kept this relationship alive. And Nala Se didn't go, oh yeah, well, I'm just going to dob her in because I need to save myself. Even though Omega left her, even though Omega really kind of betrayed her, she's still in love with the fact of being her mother and caring for her. Yes, they may not be genetically or biologically related, but they are mother and daughter. And I really like, even though Hemlock in this scene is pressuring her, she's like, hey, look, maybe it's just an anomaly. You know, I was doing it. But Hemlock kind of brings up a very valid point there as well of, look, the only time you weren't doing the blood sample, it came up. I think this might be the end of Nala Se. Not even think. It will be the end of Nala Se. Now, she's incredible at cloning, but we also have Dr. Pershing from The Mandalorian, and he's going into cloning. And if he doesn't talk about Nala Se, even though it's a little later, I think she might be gone. Maybe possibly she goes along with the base when they're doing that big clone rebellion. I'm also really pushing that clone rebellion because clones are the best. Clones are the best. So much better than anything else. Anyways, okay. Now, cut from that, we go back onto the planet that Omega and Crosshair are stuck on. Not stuck on for long, but for now, they're stuck. They go past a corner and they see there's a bunch of stormtroopers everywhere. Omega's like, oh God, they found us. Crosshair points out the point that I was saying before, which is this is just a regular squad. They are just everywhere. It's like cockroaches. You will, the moment you see one, there's thousands. Now, the one thing I really like about this is the Stormtrooper design with the coat and the glasses. Now, there's a little bit of a meme towards the end of it, but I love I love that he has glasses on top of his helmet. Not only is that really stupid, like, why do you need glasses on top of a helmet? But they actually match the same glasses that Chewbacca wore when he was on Solo, which was really cool. Yeah, I love the interviewer. I'm investigating. But you're a stormtrooper. Why have you got a coat on top of your armor? Are you signifying that you're an officer? If so, where's your pauldron? I digress. I just thought it was really cool that the same glasses were the ones that Chewie wore in Solo, which is one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Basically, their goal is to get off this planet and send a message to Hunter. As we said earlier, Crosshair's not happy. Not only is he not happy because, well, I just escaped this huge prison. I need to get the fuck away and safe. Because remember, Crosshair was tortured. Most likely tortured for months and months and months straight. Not only is his morale broken, but he's petrified of that place. Not petrified of stormtroopers, but he's petrified of Mount Tantus for sure. So yeah, they find a way. They go, all right, look, I'm going to go to the spaceport and we'll go figure this out. When they get to the spaceport, they see there's stormtroopers everywhere. Literally riddled. You cannot find a single frame where you don't see a stormtrooper, which is, I really like that they did that. To show like that overarching, oh God. Crosshair is a badass. Crosshair will be able to take out so many, but not all of them. Omega, she's pretty good, but she's not that good. So although Crosshair goes, oh, look, I can take some of them. We can figure this out. We'll force our way in, which they've done multiple times. Omega kind of pushes that different approach. Omega goes, hey, look, I don't like the way you're doing this. We're going to do this my way. So she goes up to the desk and she says, hey, anyway, we could get some tickets. Now, I don't know why she thought this was a good idea to bribe someone who works for the Empire when all of those stormtroopers are around, but I respect the confidence. You got to respect it. You got to be like, you know what? You have got balls. You are a ballsy stud. I don't have to ask permission to get the ticket like you. Anyways, it's the best Arnold impression you've ever heard. So basically, they go up to her and they're like, hey, look, can we get a ticket? Me. And the person behind the desk goes, no, leave me alone. Unless it's 15,000 credits each, which is impossible. It's a kid. She basically just goes, it's like when your parents go, oh yeah, you know, if you clean the house, then you're gonna get this lolly. And it's like, well, I have to clean the whole house. It's almost impossible. She knows that they'd give up straight away. But Omega's not that person. Omega doesn't give up. When she's given that opportunity, she goes, you know what? My plan's kind of working. Let's do it. I know a way to get it. And she's walking around and she goes, oh, maybe I don't. And then what does the Force do? Gives them the perfect spot, opens up, and goes, hey, look, gambling. I hope Star Wars doesn't bring gambling in too much, because that will influence further generations to do a very smart thing, which is throw away all their money. No. Gambling, bad. We don't support gambling on this channel. No, we don't. Stop looking at me like that. Anyways. So what they do is they go in there and the people on the tables inside are playing a game called Sabacc. Now, Sabacc we've seen in multiple different movies all throughout, but notably, we're going back to Solo. I love that they're doing all of these themes from Solo. Sabacc is the game that Han won the Millennium Falcon off of Lando. Lando in the movie was cheating on Sabacc, and it's kind of like an elongated hexagonal card, which we've seen before. Omega's pretty damn good at it. She was in Sid's bounty hunter office area, and she was schooling people. She may be a kid, but she's got a very, very switched on brain. And she's been in and out of different bad places with the batch. She's going to pick up a thing or two. So she goes, you know what, Crosshair? I'm going to win us some money. Now, I kind of like that Crosshair was like, fuck, we've gone this far. Go ahead. So she's cuts to her winning. Obviously, she's a genius. She's up against a Trandoshan. Trandoshan scum. We're Team Wookiee over here. We love the Wookiees. Wookiees and Trandoshans have been in a massive galactic war, like the whole of their existence. Team Wookiee. Anyways, see Trandoshan scum around me. I'm not happy. So one of the Imperial officers walks in. You see everyone in the whole room just go, oh, this is not good. Imperial officer walks in. Theme goes, DJ, cut the beat. Goes up to the bar. Omega's still playing. He goes up to the bar. Barman gives him credits. You can already tell that this dude's corrupt. He opens up his briefcase. By the way, I don't know how they did, like my OCD brain, when they opened up that briefcase and it was practically all filled and perfectly in line, and then he just throws in the credits and somehow it fits when it looked basically full. How does that work? I just got my OCD. I don't know why I picked that up. I was just like, I can't fit. Anyways, So he gives him credits, and we already see this guy is corrupt. Now, not only is he a bad guy, but he is a bad guy because he is basically the crime leader of this planet. As he says later, I run this planet. He doesn't talk like that. He's actually English, but he doesn't even talk like that. I'm going to stop. So he sees Omega winning, and he goes to the Trandoshan. Get out. That's my seat, mate. Now, I love this scene because he throws out Trandoshan scum. Filthy Trandoshans. I can't really do it. I can do like a Chewie talking. I go. He was upset because Trandoshans. Anyway, so he kicks the Trandoshan guy out, and then he's sitting at the sabacc table with Omega, and he basically goes, hey, I'm going to swindle this kid because he's pretty good. And he is good. He's just not great because Omega is great. She pulls out the triple sun, boing, tri-sun or whatever it was called, wins the game. Now, I've really been interested in learning how to play sabacc, and I wanted to buy sabacc playing cards. So if you wanted to see something like that, I could go over it on a podcast, or I could even play a game and do a separate video on it. Let me know. Let me know, because I would love to do it. And I found a couple of places on Etsy that do it well, but maybe it might have to be updated because, well, they've just added in a new move. And I know nothing about it. It could have already been in there. I hope that they would have done their research with that, because then some dudes are going to have to change up their whole workshop. Anyways, so as Omega beats this Imperial officer, she goes on and he's like, hey, look, you beat me fair and square. He knows he's going to get his money back and more. So he goes, look, go. Congratulations. Have a good one. Appreciate you. And it's like the whole, he didn't tap her, but it was like the whole, boom, boom, one thing. Give me the money back, or give me 10,000 credits because gambling's illegal. It makes you want to rip his throat out. I hate corrupt bad guys. It's obviously why they're there, because you're meant to hate them, but every time I see him, I'm like, argh! Like, thinking in my head, she literally just got 35,000 credits. He's taking away 10,000. Now she's stuck. What's she gonna do for the other 10,000? Like, Crosshair doesn't look that good naked. He can't do anything, and she's a child. Don't even go there. But then it kind of opens up. She gives her 10,000 credits. Into the briefcase that already looked full again. How did it fit? Anyways. And Crosshair goes, how many credits did you win? Are we down? She got 45,000 credits. What the beep? How sick do you have to be? Every single second that Omega has been on the screen, I have liked her even more. I thought she would, like, obviously, I don't know the value of one little credit stick and the gold ones, obviously, compared to, but, like, she had 45,000 credits from just swindling one dude. Not only was that Trandoshan dumb, he's a dummy McPoopy head, dumb boy. Also, the Imperial officer had a lot of money. Like, she got bank. So good on her. Kudos to you, my friend. It even makes you think, how much money did that guy have in his little bag that the Stormtrooper was carrying around? Or TK Trooper, but yeah, Stormtrooper. If you can do that maths for me, I'd appreciate you, because I'm so curious to see, was that dude just running around rich? And when they escaped, why didn't they just take his bag? And then they have so much money. Doesn't matter. Basically, they go outside after giving away the money, and the stupid officer has taken Badger. Now, at the start, I was kind of like, meh, you can get rid of Badger. Hasn't really done anything. But I know they're building up to do like a sacrifice. I'll sacrifice my life for Omega. Yeah, so they left, and she's like, oh, no, we have to get him back. So they go to the spaceport, and they find out sorry, my bad. There's a kid outside, and the kid goes, hey, look, I know where they've put your lurker, but I'm going to need 10,000 credits. And Mega's there like, what? Then he goes, a Crosshair kind of pulls out look, Omega, I know you're doing well here, but back off, kid. Kid's like, all right, 5,000. Gives him 5 because now they still have the same amount, right? They still have a good amount. It's fine. And then this kid just basically tells them where to go. They run over to the spaceport and they see that there's an area with, bloody hundreds of animals of different kinds as well. Big cages, small cages, medium cages. Doesn't matter. In there, they find Badger. Now they've got to find a way to get Badger out of there. So they get right up to the cage and then boom, Imperial officer. I knew you'd come back for your pet. Pretty cool. Now this guy's switched on as well because not only does he think that they're going to go back for the pet, which, I mean, if you have animals, you realize you would die for that animal. But not only did he think they were going to go back, he's also one of the smartest Imperial officers that we've seen in Star Wars so far. He's been able to put back all of the information back to Hemlock. Now, I don't know how high ranking this guy is, but Mount Tantus, that's a secure location. There's a reason why Palpatine only went in one ship with a small escort. How did this guy get the information to go back? So he's a smart dude. He's a resourceful guy. There's a reason why he is that crime boss. I thought that was a really cool addition, which I don't know how many people are going to pick up on. He's actually really smart. Anyways. So they find a way to just go, look, we got you. You're gone. Have a good one. And Omega's like, yeah, look, here's the credits. I don't think I could do this. Crosshair, we're going to go with your plan. And he's like, finally. Oh, I forgot. Like, sick. Now, Crosshair, he didn't really seem to have his hand problem with this one. He was taking out some good guys. Maybe it's because he was mounted up on the box. But either way, Omega goes around, she unlocks the cage, and through this huge firefight with like hundreds of stormtroopers, there were now hundreds of animals that came out, trampling, stampeding. They took out heaps of stormtroopers, and they also knocked Badger knocked over the Imperial officer because he hates him, understandably, because he hates all Imperials. He's been trained to be like, I hate them guys. They've been zapping me. So Badger knocks over, runs back to Omega, and he's like, yeah, loyal pet. Love Badger. Then the Stampede kicks away the gun. Basically, get to the point where the Imperial officer is like, oh no. And he gets taken out by this huge octopus thing that's in the cage. Now, what I saw when I was looking at that was that's a really cool creature that kind of reminded me of the Zillo Beast. I don't know why. It's just like the long arms and stuff like that. Kind of like, obviously it's an octopus. It's like a Sarlacc-y kind of, I love the way they've been doing animals in this. I think their beast creation stuff, sick. Even though there was just a lot of flamingos and macaws in that one. I think like a lot of the beast creation, even back to episode 2, when they had that big flood Sarlacc, like, it's been really, really cool. And I love the creativeness that's been going on with these directors. Again, I forgot their names. I could search it up, but you guys can do that in your own time. I'll remember it for next episode. And if I don't, call me out. I'm a bloody loser. I should know this. Anyways, so they manage to steal a ship as they go up and they turn on the jets. Then it just goes and it blows a stormtrooper that had the glasses and the coat on. He's like, "Wah!" Anyways, I loved that. I was actually pissing myself laughing. Like, the fact that they've been able to juggle seriousness and also just like that little bit of fun. It's actually hilarious. Like, I love this show so much. The first season and the second season were really good, but I think this third season is shaping up to be some of the best cartoon stuff that we've seen. Maybe even one of the best shows we've seen. So I love the way they blew him back, and then whoop, and then we arrived to what we were talking about before. They're in hyperspace. Basically, Omega and Crosshair were going, and he's like, and Omega goes, "Look, I've sent out a signal to Hunter because the ship that they're on can be tracked by the Empire." So they're like, "Look, we're sending out a signal to Hunter to meet us on a remote location." But all that I thought in my head at this point, before Crosshair even said anything, was like, how do they know this isn't a trap? I mean, we haven't seen the batch, but I've seen the trailer, and I know that they're going to go back to Mount Tantus. Are we just doing like a swap, like Hunter and Wrecker are being taken care of now? Like they're being taken to Mount Tantus? That was initially what was going through my head. Like, what the hell? Are they running into another trap? Like, Omega, what are you doing? But it panned out right. And Crosshair brought up a really valid point. Like, it's been months. You know they could be dead, right? Because it's only two of them. When they had the full force of Clone Force 99, like, holy hell, they are a force to be reckoned with. They've never lost before, but they've only been losing since they lost Tech. And then they lost Echo. And they, opposite, but anyway, they've been losing their friends. This is the first time that we've seen the Bad Batch lose. It's pretty consistent if we see them fall into another trap. In the end, Omega shows her true side, her true, what I think is like a Jedi side. No, they're okay. They're going to be fine. And we're going to see them. I love that about her. I love it. She's such a cool character now. Badass, true to herself, strong as well. They have done more with this character than I think they've actually done with most of the sequel characters. I hope they do more with him, but I love Omega right now. She is seriously becoming one of my favorite characters. Not in the top 10, but definitely up there. Whereas in the other seasons, she just really pissed me off. But maybe they're doing like the Filoni thing. Because Filoni, when he brought in Ahsoka, made everyone hate her so that they could love her more. It's like a psychology thing. But I don't know if they're really doing that with Omega. If they are, it's working. It's working. I'll happily say I'm a part of the problem. It's working. So yeah, then we see the twin planets representing the twin suns. It's true Star Wars. It's true to the core. I love the lighting. I love that everything's so bright behind them. Well, so bright when it comes to Omega and Crosshair, but then it gets really dark when it comes to the Bad Batch. And it kind of heightened what I was thinking, like, is that just an abandoned ship? Have we lost? Are we going to see them dock down on the ground and then out walks an Imperial officer from the Marauder? Kind of freaked me out a bit. But then out walks Wrecker. God, was the waterworks starting to go. I was like, Wrecker is starting to show who he was before. He was broken in the first couple of episodes. And now with Omega back, he's getting that spark again. He was crying, she was crying, it was beautiful. And the whole time I was like, I love Wrecker. I love Wrecker, but show me Hunter. Like, come on. It's father and daughter. Like, come on. And Wrecker makes a really cool comment. He's like, we've searched the galaxy 4 times looking for you. And out walks Hunter. Oh, I get chills. Out walks Hunter. 5. And you were the one to find us first. Oh, was I sobbing? It was just like, you know what? That is a dad right there. And it's just like, I'm going to get all teary again. This show, Star Wars in general, means so much to me, and it gives you so many lessons. And it's just like, not giving up. Don't ever give up. And Omega didn't, and Hunter didn't, and they were rewarded. And they're together, and I was sobbing. But the mood changed very quickly. We see Crosshair. Crosshair, he walks out, and immediately, the first thing I look at, I don't know why I was so drawn to it, but I see Hunter's hand, and he was like, he just finished holding Omega. And he goes down, and his hand is quite open, but he sees Crosshair, and you just see the fist being balled up. Now, kudos to this animation team. You have done a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. Bringing such beauty to this franchise. Through the Bad Batch, through Clone Wars Season 7. To be able to notice something like that, incredible. Mwah! Chef's kiss. But then we see Wrecker's eyebrows and his face scrunches up and Crosshair serious now. No words. Just hatred and anger and fear and unknown from Crosshair. Yeah. Boom! Ended. I have to say, one of the most beautiful moments in Star Wars was seeing the weight roll off the shoulders of a Hunter when he notices Omega, his daughter, his friend, his ally, who he's been searching non-stop for, scrambling. They've lost people trying to find her. He's sacrificed so much. He sacrificed friends, his freedom, his time away from all of this hecticity. And they're reunited. And they're together. And it's just beautiful. So we finished the episode. And wow. I've rewatched it 3-4 times, and I get the same reaction at the end of it, just like, they're back. They're back. They're back together. Yeah, they may not have Echo, they may not have tech, but they're back. They're back together, and I love that Crosshair's back. Crosshair is one of the coolest characters ever created. He's such a sick dude, but you can see why they hate him so much. Trying to get him resulted in losing tech. What can they do? Obviously they hate him, but you can't blame Crosshair for being stuck. He sent them out a note being like, hey, look, guys, Plan 77 or whatever it was. But he was basically saying, get out of there. I'm gone. Have a good one. Like, they didn't have to come back. So I hope they don't hold resentment towards him on that. Anyways, so the next segment that I want to do is I scoured the internet for fans' reactions. I kind of liked when I talked about it before when I saw a Star Wars Theories episode. I liked the idea of finding how people thought the episode was and kind of comparing it to what I did. So I saw the fans' reactions, and it was very similar. Everyone loved this episode, calling it the best episode yet. Mainly because with this kind of stuff, there was a lot of action, and that's all people want. People want a lot of action. Give as much action as you possibly can, and everyone's going to be like, ah. Like, give me more, bah. But I'm glad everyone's been liking it because I have loved it so far. Also, everyone's really happy that the batch is together not so long in the series. Now, I also think that has been one of the best parts of this season so far. Because in previous seasons and other shows, it's like, oh, we're going to wait till the very end, they're together, and then, oh, they're gone. Yeah, we have to wait another year before we see them again. And it's cool, they're together towards the end, but like, I want to see them more now. We're 4 episodes into a 13-episode series, and they're together again. I love it. But it does kind of worry me because, not even worry, it does kind of make you think like they're really treating this as the end. Because if they wanted to stretch this out, they could have stretched that out. They could have. Another couple more episodes. They could have stretched it out. But this is the end of the clones. This is the end of George Lucas's time. His creation. We're onto a Disney empire, and what a way to end it. What a way to end something so beautifully created by the master of Star Wars by giving it such a powerful finale with one of the most innovative ways to extend the show, which is through animation. When George Lucas started Clone Wars, obviously it wasn't thought of much more than a kids show. But then the kids grew up and they stayed with it, and they made it a lot more adult themed. Now it's gotten to the point where the majority of the people who want to watch it are adults. The people who grew up with the prequels, who grew up with the idea of clones and the rebellion was later. I want to see the Grand Republic. Goodbye, George Lucas. Hello, Disney. Be it good or bad, it is like passing the baton for real. You are passing the baton to a massive corporation that has already had so much power and they've done so well. They've also done a couple of bad things. So, kind of in the middle of a historical Star Wars moment here. But fans' reactions have said the same thing that I've said, and I'm really glad that it's quite concurrent over the fan base. I haven't seen too much negativity. Now, I have seen like, why is it so emotional? Those kind of people, get out of here. No one likes you. Why are you so rude? Be happy. You gotta have a little more emotion because how do you connect with the characters? Not everyone. Now, as I said last episode, I am a sucker for a badass. Like if you are a gunslinging cowboy samurai dude like Mando, give me some love. I'll give you that. I will just give them every bit of my attention. But you need the emotional parts. Even someone like Mando, who's a badass, had to have that moment at the end of season 2 when he was sitting back there and he goes, look, I need this kid to see who I am. I need this kid to go, that's the person that saved my life. And I'm so glad I can see him without a helmet because that's who he truly is. And to give up your religion, to give up everything you believe in, your way of life for a kid, it was a powerful moment, and you couldn't have that without the emotional attachment that adds on to these kind of Star Wars movies. It's beautiful. Okay, now we're coming to the next one. As we kind of wrap things up, we're going into theories. So, a couple of theories that I have thought of, which if you guys have any more theories, Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Send me a comment. Send me an Instagram DM. I'm going to make a TikTok soon, so send me some TikToks when I'm there, or send me a message on there. However you want to contact me, send it, because I can't wait to see what's going to happen. And I want to know what you guys think is going to happen. It's really exciting. So, theory number 1. Boba is coming to save Omega after the Bad Batch fail. I do think we're gearing up towards the Batch failing. I don't think that these guys are going to win initially. I think it's going to be yeah, let's do it. We got Omega back. We got Crosshair. And we're going to save these prisoners. We're going to get the clones out of here. And they get it, and it fails. They realize that they're going up against a bigger team. This is a better force. They don't have the power of the Grand Republic behind them. They only have them. And not even all clones want to follow them. They're pretty lonely. I don't think they're gonna win. But I tell you what, we do have another clone. We have Alpha, nicknamed Boba. Or Boba nicknamed Alpha, however you want to do it. Alpha and Omega. Boba, I believe he's trained enough at this point. I believe Boba is going to come in and save Omega when the Bad Batch fail. We might see more of Cad Bane, potentially other bounty hunters, potentially other people that we've seen in the past couple of seasons helping out. Maybe even Gungi. Who knows? But I do think that this clone rebellion is going to happen, and I think Boba is going to play a part in it. Because, as we see in The Mandalorian Season 2, sorry. When Mando's there with Boba, and they go to that bar, and you see Bo-Katan and her other loyal Death Watch people. And they're sitting there, and Mando's like, blah, 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 blah. And Boba starts speaking, and they go, ugh, I've heard your voice 1,000 times. You're just a clone. Boba took that very seriously. I'm not just a clone. I'll kill you here. I really do think that he believes that his brothers and sisters in there are just as much him as he is them. Yes, he's an unaltered clone, so he doesn't have the aging. Yeah, he doesn't have all of, the Batch's abilities. He's purely Jango Fett. But he's strong. And he is their brother and sister. I think we're going to see a Return of the King, which will be really cool. And maybe he hasn't even painted his armor yet, because we don't know when he's painted Jango's armor, because his armor is his father's armor with minor modifications. Are we seeing Boba in Jango's gear? That'd be pretty cool. As like an homage to his father. Next theory. Scorch will betray Hemlock. Now, I wanted to think this purely because I love the Republic Commando games. The Republic Commando games are the coolest. It was such good strategy. I know I talked about it last episode, but to be able to put your guys in different spots and to actually change the tide of the game through pure strategy, incredible. And you kind of learn to love these guys. You start to really fall for them, just being like, these are the G's. These are the GOATs. And also, he's had a lot of screen time. Like, he's had a lot of screen time where you kind of see him going, look, this guy's going to amount to a little more than just being an assistant to this evil man, Hemlock. He's also got some more lines. He started talking more when he was on that planet that Crosshair and Omega left. So I'm liking the look of that. Tell me what you think about that, because that's one of my most interesting theories. Yeah, look, the other one's kind of a two-parter, and it's a little bit of an alternate, but Bad Batch will die and Omega lives, or Omega dies and the Batch lives. I think it goes either way. Like, either way, there's going to be a lot of death this season. I hope Tech is dead. I really hope Tech is dead. I don't want to see him come back as that super soldier. I really don't. I hope they don't do that. Like, he's dead. He fell from such a high height, and he was in front of a cart that was falling onto him. He has to have died. Come on. I know we were only given his glasses, but come on. He's dead. Please. Made it so special. So who knows? Will Omega live and the Batch die? Or will the Batch live and Omega dies? I guess we'll find out. But tell me what you think. Tell me what you think with that one. Because it truly can go either way, but I don't think all of them are making it. Not at all. So, let's go into the predictions for the next episode. Okay. Prediction number 1. Rex and the gang are going to get reunited with the Batch. Now, that's Gregor, Echo, Rex, potentially Cody. Potentially Cody. We don't know. We didn't see him, obviously, in Rebels. He could be dead. Or he could be alive now and he dies in the thing. That'd be sick. Or maybe I wish he went over and he ditched them and went with Kenobi. And he just helps Kenobi look after. I think that'd be so beautiful to see two old friends, Kenobi, who's obviously taking care of Luke, and Leia at the same time after we've seen the series, and the times that Kenobi needs to go out on these missions to go maybe save some newer generations or to help out different people. Cody can look after Luke. Cody can be there to help Luke and to save him from potential threats. I love the duo. So if something like that could happen, that'd be awesome. But I do think that Rex and his gang are going to reconnect with the Batch, possibly in the next episode, because they're going to need firepower. And he wasn't too far away. I know they're going to devise a plan to free the prisoners. I know that. I'm calling that so hard. They're going to devise a plan to free them. Omega feels too strong about it, and Hunter will do anything for Omega right now. I know that with that love, he's probably going to be like, oh, we just got you. We can't lose you. But I know in the end it's going to get to the point where they're making plans to free the prisoners. I hope we get to see Crosshair get some new armor. Maybe he's had an old kit of armor in the back. Maybe he has to go to a planet and pick up some new colored armor. Because obviously the Batch don't really have a lot of money, but now they have 30,000 credits from Omega. So are they going to go fix up their armor? Are they going to go get some new ones for Crosshair? Maybe even a new gun? How are they going to do that? I just don't want to see Crosshair in some civilian outfit or some prisoner's outfit. That would suck. Next one. I think we're going to watch Omega take more of a lead in the Batch. I think, obviously, Hunter is the leader. He's the king. You can't beat Hunter in the Batch when it comes to authority. But I do think that he's lost a lot of his way because he feels like he's the reason. When you're a leader of a group and people are dying around you and left you, you think that you're the cause. It's plain and simple. I hope he doesn't think that way, because you could see how broken he is. But if that is the case and Omega needs to stand up, by all means, that'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. I'd love to see her kind of step up and be great. Let's go on to the new part, questions from fans. Now, I'm going to pull up my phone with this one. Let's see here. All right. So, I put up on my Instagram, I'm going to put up on my Instagram every Tuesday, Wednesday, basically prompting questions and seeing if you guys want to ask anything for me to answer live. I've literally only got But I'm not only got this. Like I've only got Instagram to be able to talk to on this, or the comment section here on YouTube. So ask away, as much as you want. Even if you just want to be like, hey, you have a question about something, please go ahead, do it. We've got some awesome responses here. So I didn't actually expect a lot. I actually answered. Well, I answered my own thing on my separate account and asked a question, which is so sad. But we got some love. We got some love here. So I just want to say again, I appreciate so much. So first one is from Tia Galanos. She says, "Why are you so cute? What's your number?" That's funny. I've got a girlfriend. Leave me alone. You're really beautiful though. I see you in your picture. That's my girlfriend. She's such a supportive girl. And I love her so much. What's my number? It is 000. Give it a call. Ask for the fire department because this show is fire. Laugh, please. I know that wasn't my best. Next one we have from Star Wars Nerd 00. He said, Tusken Slayer or Youngling Slayer 9000 and why? Now, the Tusken Slayer, I assume you're talking about Anakin when he kills the Tuskens and also when he kills the Younglings. Now, I also kind of want to put a little spin on that. What about when the Tuskens were being taken out with Boba there? That'd be pretty cool. And I like that scene in the Book of Boba Fett. I'm probably going to say the Youngling Slayer 9000, only because we've seen so much more of it later on. Like when we've been delving into it in other shows and like Order 66, we've seen so many different cuts. I went on YouTube the other day. I can't remember where I saw it, but there was a creator who put every single cutscene of Order 66 together in one, so you got to see it all as like a super cut. So purely because of that video where he put it together, I'm going to say the Youngling Slayer 9000. And thank you so much for responding. That's really cool. Thanks, dude. I met him in the comment section of Beyond the Dune Sea. Such a good dude, really knowledgeable. He has a great TikTok. And also Instagram where he delves into all of these different ideas of what he loves, and also did a really cool breakdown of a lightsaber recently. I recommend that one. That was such a good watch. Next one we have from Laird Geek. That is Seth from Beyond the Dune Sea. I can't tell you how much that brings a smile to my face to see your name there. You guys are the best. I know I get a bit emotional thinking about it, and talking about it. It's just means the world to me. So basically, Laird Geek said, "Who's your favorite member of the batch?" Wrecker, and more Wrecker. I've done quite a bit of powerlifting throughout my time in the gym and so on. And I love like super strong dudes. It's kind of why as well when I played Halo, I loved like especially Reach. I loved George because he's like so big and strong. I just love like a really strong dude because I'm like, hell yeah, I want to be that, you know. But I love the way they did him this season and how they kind of made him a lot more emotional, and you could see how he was broken, like seriously broken. Next question. Thank you again. Next question is from Beyond the Dune Sea themselves. Now, I don't know if this is Connor asking the question on there or Seth, but Connor, again, guys, like seriously, I can't thank you enough. Like this is the coolest thing. And I freaked out. I got so excited when I saw you guys were messaging on the thing. Out of Bad Batch, who has your favorite helmet? Crosshair's helmet is so sick. I just mainly because of the literal crosshair on his eye, but I love Crosshair, and I just think all the other guys, like their helmets are cool. You know, Wrecker's is a bit more rounded, like Juggernaut from Marvel, and I like that. But it's just I love the shape of Crosshair's helmet, and especially when he got his Imperial armor. His Imperial armor, like the Death Trooper, sick, so cool. So, yeah. Crosshair's helmet by far. Thank you guys so much. Again, that was like that literally made my week. You guys are the best. I love you so much. And onto this doofus head, Jeremy Blore. What a shit name. Do you prefer clones or stormtroopers? I literally said that because I wanted to be like, clones are literally the best ever. And I was just, for this whole section, if no one commented, I was going to do a massive rant about how much I love clones. I don't have to do a massive rant now because of all the love that I've been getting. And thank you guys so much. Seriously, thank you. Like, you're the best. But yeah, I just, clones are the coolest characters ever. My favorite by far. I don't know. I love the fact that there are these dudes who are literally destined for war, and now they're stuck and they don't know what to do, and they got to figure out. And they, like, you know, so many people went off and they started becoming farmers and all that kind of. I love it. I love it. And just to see individuality spark between such a wide group of literally the same person, it's just such an awesome watch. Okay, so last bit here, questions for the fans. Do you want to see Scorch betray Hemlock? What's going on there? I want to see it. I want to see Scorch kind of take over, become a badass. Maybe even, I talked about it last episode, because Rex's biggest challenge in this now is seeing the clones be taken over by the stormtroopers and not really any of them turn. The clone commandos are going to be his hardest. They are full on indoctrinated to be anything that anyone wants them to be. So we're going to see how that unfolds, and I think it would really help. Not even I think. I know how much it would help if Scorch turns. Hemlock's right-hand man, if he turns and the rest of the fucking clone commandos come out, whoosh, that'd be sick. Also, just on a little thing, as like a little news segment, just to finish it off, I have been super excited about EA's new game, well, from Respawn, the guys who helped with Jedi Survivor. They're doing a Mandalorian game where you get to custom design your own Mandalorian, go through all that kind of stuff. Like literally open world, insane. I can't begin to describe how excited I was. This morning, checked my phone. It's gone. They've cancelled it. So for any of you that were excited about Mandalorian games, please, let's just bombard Star Wars. Let's talk about it non-stop. Let's comment on their posts all the time. Give us a Mandalorian game, because that's all I wanted. That is all I wanted. Oh my God, I have got more questions. What? Will we see Omega take more of a lead? Are they reviving tech? Now, again, I hope not, but what do you think? Comment down below. What do you think? Because I think it could kind of ruin it for me if they bring him back. Unless they do it really well. Who is the mystery soldier we saw in the trailer? Now, I know we saw him going towards the elevator in episode 3. Who is that dude? And why is he menacing? Why does he look like that? He doesn't have the same build as Tech, so I don't think it's going to be Tech. What's going to happen? Don't know. And finally, are we seeing Vader? Again, I hope not. I hope not, because Vader's final at the end of Clone Wars, when he was rolling around in the snow with... He wasn't rolling around in the snow. He went to the snow and he had picked up Ahsoka's saber that he built for her, And then he sees all of the clone troopers' helmets of the 501st Legion decimated. That wasn't Vader who went there, that was Anakin. And Anakin needed to see that Ahsoka was properly gone. That is a tearjerker right there. But I hope we don't see Vader in this. He is the might of the Empire, which is what he did. Emperor Palpatine said you had access to. He is the might of the Empire. He is the weapon. He is the way they can change the tide of war. Are we going to see him? I hope not. I really hope not. But we'll find out. And just a final. Thank you again to the guys at Beyond the Dune Sea, to Mortis FM, to Star Wars Sith 66. Those guys are the best and the most incredible content creators. Mortis FM, I am such a huge fan of them. Great podcast. Just two dudes who know way too much about Star Wars, talking like it is the easiest thing that you have ever seen, to just patch all of these different parts of every single time in Star Wars all together and find some genuine, beautiful moments and theories that you guys are going to love. So please watch Mortis FM. They are incredible. Star Wars Sith 66 has been a huge helper and supporter of my channel. He watches all my stuff and he likes all my stuff and he's just incredible. You got to watch his stuff. He does really good things when it comes to toys and shorts. I've seen a lot of his longer form videos, but I have to say I love his shorts about going to Ross. Ross is a supermarket chain in America, like a shopping chain, but they have a lot of discounted figurines. And as you know, I'm a huge figurine collector. And I get so jealous because all this stuff that he puts up there, I'm like, I wish we had in Australia. Some of them I get them, but it's for like, oh God, tens of dollars more. Like probably 30 bucks more. Easily. It's annoying, but it's really cool watching him do it, and he's got such a great presence in the community. He is so well deserving of all the love, just as much as Mortis FM. And then you get the big dogs, Beyond the Dune Sea, the goats, the best. Like, you cannot beat these guys. I love everyone else that I just mentioned before, but the Beyond the Dune Sea, they break everything down so incredibly well that I could never do. They are the best Star Wars show / podcast that you will ever watch. 10 million bajillion times better than mine. There is absolutely no way you can beat these guys. They have the incredible knowledge within the industry. They have the incredible love, board games. They have video games knowledge. Everything in one. These guys are incredible and can give the best, most intricate answers. You will not find better content than their content. So give them a watch, give them a follow, favorite their stuff, like everything that they post, listen to it on Spotify, listen to it on YouTube. Do as much as you can and get these guys bigger than what they are now. They're big. They're big, by the way. And to see this kind of love and to see this kind of appreciation from people who are that big within the community blows my mind. But they have been the most incredible helpers. They are the most genuine souls, loving guys. So please follow them, like all their stuff, get notified because they bring out good content, like good content. I've been notified on every single thing that they've posted and I cannot get enough. I cannot get more. I watch everything and I listen to everything. They are the best. But yeah, so that's going to be it for today. Thank you for listening. It's been a little longer than I expected for just one episode, but guys, again, thank you. I love you all. Please feel free, comment down below anything that you want to see in the future, anything that you think that I could potentially change on this show to kind of suit it towards maybe even something that you want to see on more than just once a week. If you want to see some more short-term videos, I'm going to be doing a little more reels based off this. And I'll kind of be going towards shortwave content as well as this once a week. But guys, again, thank you. I love you all. Please have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll catch you next week. All right, sick.